Today we'll be discussing the anatomy of the spinal cord. Now, as regards the spinal cord, basically it is a part of the central nervous system. Now, we already went through the details that the central nervous system is basically consisting of the brain, and then we have the spinal cord. And in the brain, we have the subsections. That is, basically, it is consisting of the cerebral hemispheres, and then we have the cerebellum, then we have the brain stalk, which is also known as the brainstem over here. So apart from this higher centers of the central nervous system, where the basic relay stations, they are residing over there, we have a conduit system that is basically carrying the messages from the periphery towards these higher centers. And this is basically called as the spinal cord. Now, as regards the spinal cord, as you can see, it is basically protected inside the vertebral column. This is basically the bony architecture that is providing the covering to the spinal cord. It is providing the stability to the spinal cord, and it has a lot of other functions as well, as we'll be discussing the details of the vertebral column over here. So giving you an overview regarding the vertebral column, first of all, the bony architecture, which is basically surrounding and which is basically making space for the spinal cord. We must know that this vertebral column is composed of almost 33 vertebrae. So it's not a single bone basically, and there are a lot of joints in between, and these joints are basically providing the mobility to the vertebral column, and at the same time it is going to provide the protection to the softer parts, that is the spinal cord, which is basically residing inside the vertebral column. So that is the basic function that it is performing. So when you look at it from an anterior-posterior view and from a lateral view, you would be knowing this is basically maintaining the normal posture of an individual. So it is even responsible for the transmission of weight to the lower limbs, and it is basically even providing support to the pelvic girdle over here, that is present right over here. And it is providing this support and stability to the pelvic girdle as well. And so all of the movements that take place at this pelvic girdle are basically due to the stable vertebral column that is present out there. And then, of course, it is even providing the stability to the upper limbs and the movements that we can carry out at the upper limbs. For picking up even a small object, we must need that stability which is being provided by the vertebral column. A normal posture, a normal tone of the muscles of the back that are being attached to this vertebral column is basically providing the normal posture of an individual. So without this vertebral column, it would be very difficult to maintain this normal posture that we have. And then there are the curvatures that you can even observe over here, and they have their own significance out there that we'll be discussing in detail. So this is the basic anatomical position of the vertebral column and how it is composed of the different vertebrae.